Hi, my name is Carolyn Miller and I have a shop on Etsy called Autumn Leaves Jewelry, and I'd like to show you in this short video how to make earrings, stamped tag earrings. Any silversmith or any jeweler's best friend, in my opinion, is a Sharpie in any color. Today it's going to be red. 49-cent ruler, plastic ruler, just so I can mark out the tags and I can cut them to the measurements, the specifics that I want. And this is my 20 gauge silver. Next up, you'll want to take your ruler and your Sharpie and measure out. In this case, I've measured out 1/2 inch width by 1 inch length. And I'm going to choose to use my very nice shears that I purchased. I purchased these from a really good supplier. A lot of people like to use saws to cut their metal. I use my saw, but I use it for other things where I have to make connections in where I'm going to be soldering. In this case, there's no soldering. So it's going to be pretty easy. I'm just going to take these, and I'm going to snip away at my metal. So now that you have your pieces cut out, and here are all my pieces, I'll show you a handful of these that I can set aside and use another time, so it's very convenient. You'll want to have a designated piece of wood that you use for drilling, and this is mine. And then I just used regular masking tape to tape down two earrings, two similar size earrings, mark where I want to drill with my red Sharpie, and then I take my handy center punch tool. You can use, there's so many different ways to mark a little dot before you use a drill so that your drill doesn't slide all over the metal, because you don't want like scratches all over the metal. And anyway, so here's an example. There, I just marked it. I've gone ahead and I put my small drill on, made sure it was secure, and made sure it's not going to wobble, everything's good. And I like to, before I drill anything, I go ahead and I take a candle, any candle, and I run my drill through the wax. The larger drill to drill the bigger hole. Same thing as before. Goes really fast, and the tape holds the pieces down. These are my number set of punches that I use. I have a letter set as well, which I'll be showing you in a second. But the first thing I'm going to do, because these tags are going to say 2008 across the front, across the top, I'm going to go ahead and I like to do them both at the same time. I like to put my 2 and stamp it, 2 over here and stamp it, my 0, 0, 0, and 8, etc. Just so I get kind of the same pattern on each of the pair of earrings. They're not exactly perfectly lined up. That's okay with me. I tape these pieces of metal down, and I keep them lined up with each other, and I tape them onto my metal block, and I'll show you an example of stamping. It's very easy. I've marked my spot with my Sharpie ahead of time. I take my stamp, and I have an OCD thing. I always hit 8 times. That's just what I do. I go to the other one, same thing, marked it out, and continue on like that until you have everything you want. Another really good tip, I did this with my numbers, and I did it with my alphabet. The first thing I did is I took my Sharpie and I did the letters A through Z, and it ends with a little dot, which is great for punching as well, punching a little hole indicator. But I went ahead and did that so that I would always put my M back where my M goes. The other thing about stamps is they usually have an indentation right exactly where you are going to be having the letter face. So once you feel that indentation, I always look up and make sure, oh, that's an M, that's not a W, and then I stamp accordingly. And now I'm about to stamp the name Obama down 2008. This is my bastard file, my reciprocating file, and I love it. And I have a wire brush which I occasionally meant to clean out like all the little goop that gets caught up in there. But when I file with the bastard file, I can just go back and forth. And you know what? There's really not a lot to file on these. After I do this portion, I'm going to use this piece again, or you can just rough it up with sandpaper. But I want to get rid of all my finger grease and anything else that may prevent the liver of sulfur from sticking, because I'm going to put this in liver of sulfur to darken the letters to make them pop on the silver. This is what the stamps look like. This is what the, for instance, one of the earrings looks like right after a bath of being immersed in liver of sulfur. It's been washed and it's been dried, and I try not to touch the actual liver of sulfur ever with my fingers. I use tongs just because I get paranoid about the chemicals, but you can see the stamp is there, and now I just need to make the I just need to remove the outer area of the liver of sulfur, so that there are several ways to do this, so that what you have imprinted will show up. And there are several ways to do this. I take the easy route. I use my flex shaft, and I use an attachment for it. But I know you can use those green scrubby things. But I love this because it goes so fast. And I can also kind of make a pattern if I want. It's really fun. I hope you can see this. There's half of it done. That's what half of it would look like. And I like to leave a little bit of an edge, a little impression of the liver of sulfur, so it gives it that aged look. I also like to shine up the sides. I don't want them dark. I want them to kind of pop. And then I always go down the back, just because I think it's pretty. Like I said, I like to leave just a little bit of a, I don't know, like an impression. Ooh, that one's actually darker than that one. Let's make this one a little lighter. Of the liver of sulfur. Of the patina. I should be calling it a patina, because we're aging it prematurely. And here we go. These are my Yes We Can 2008 Obama earrings. The tags are done, and they are ready to go in the tumbler, and once they've been in the tumbler, they will be highly shined, but the patina will stay there, and I will attach my ear wires, and I will send these out to my customer that just placed an order for them yesterday.